The Theron Guard was an organization of the Locust Horde's military which represents the elite of the Locust Horde. They were head and shoulders above the lowly Locust Drones in terms of equipment, intelligence and training. They are elite Locust troops assigned to commando-style raids against high-profile targets and high-level defensive missions that require the sort of precision the Therons possess and can handle. Some members of the Theron also act as field officers, leading the lesser Locust troops into battle. So I'm your host Abz, and in this video I'll be explaining the lore behind the elite Locust troops, the Theron Guards from the Gears of War universe. So if you'd like to see more Locust lore videos, be sure to chainsaw your way through that like button, and if you do enjoy the video, consider subscribing for more video game lore content. Now then, as elites, the Therons are more powerful, intelligent, accurate with their weapons and better armoured than their contemporaries. And they are invariably better armed as well, making them a significantly greater threat than the lesser ranked Locust troops. They are 6'8" on average, they have grey skin and black scales just like the drones, but the Therons are easily recognisable from other Locusts on the battlefield. The Therons wear heavy body armour that covers more of the upper body than drone armour, and a long leather-like strip of material hanging from the back of the waist. This trails behind them as they move and gives the impression of a trench coat combined with armour. Many wear distinctive looking helmets as well, often heavily embellished. Theron armour is laced with bright red flecks, presumably to give them a more imposing appearance. Most Therons use the torque bow as their weapon of choice, and is wielded exclusively by the Therons. It was specifically designed for them, and its advanced design shows that it is far more dangerous and far more utilitarian than many Locust weapons. The torque bow fires an emotion-fueled, explosive-tipped, armor-piercing projectile that resembles a large arrow. Therons are experts with this weapon with their range, precision and accuracy. Because of this, they are a deadly threat, capable of instantly killing an unprepared gear from a considerable distance. They also make use of the Lancer assault rifle, Hammerburst assault rifle and Nasher shotgun, as well as the Boltok pistol. Unlike drones, Therons are smart enough to make use of dropped weapons, so if an allied Locust dies in their presence, they may raid their corpses for weapons or ammo. As elites who have better intelligence with better military training, Therons make extensive use of cover and ambushes, and are smart enough to know when a battle is turning against them. You can expect them to flee rather than die if they take too much damage, and for other Locusts to aid the Theron if they become injured. They frequently send drones and grenadiers forward as cannon fodder and to force gears out into the open, so they can take them out with their torque bows. They also often feign retreat in order to lure enemies closer and into preset firing positions. Their battlefield IQ is just of the highest order, so you should never underestimate the Theron Guards. So we've spoken about the Theron Guards as a whole, but let's talk about the different Theron Guard ranks and variations, because of course there were different subclasses within the Theron organization. So first up we have the Theron Sentinels. Their role in the Locust army was that of battlefield commanders, leading Locust troops on the field, and they possessed all the other abilities that a regular Theron would. But a Theron Sentinel also led small teams of Theron Guards. So for instance, when a pack of Theron Guards were designated to a high-profile commando-style raid or another special operation, a Theron Sentinel would be the leader of the pack of Theron Guards. In terms of armour, the Theron Sentinel's armour is almost identical to the regular Theron Guards, except for their signature Theron Sentinel helmet. We also had the Theron Elites, who were also known as the Onyx Therons or the Black Therons, and the Theron Elites were a co-organisation of Locust Theron that appeared shortly after Emergence Day. They were specifically trained and worked under the command of General RAAM, serving as his chosen warriors and sometimes loyal lieutenants. The Theron Elite carried a deadly arsenal, which included torque bows, modified weapons like the Elite Sawed-Off Shotgun, Gorgon SMGs, and even krill grenades. They could also manipulate the krill to some extent like General RAAM. They also wear slightly similar armour to General RAAM, which shows their presence and ranking within the Locust military. The Theron Elites were an absolute force to be reckoned with. We also had the Cleaver Therons. Now the Cleaver Therons were Therons armed with a butcher cleaver, and they charge into battle and attempt to cut gears to pieces without hesitation. They run right past cover and don't stop until they're on top of you, swinging away with their heavy metal blades. The Cleaver Therons wear red, bulky, heavy armour, similar to that of the Theron Guard and Theron Sentinel. The only difference, however, is that they do not wear the skirt tassels around their waist. They also carry around butcher cleavers as their main and only weapon, hence the name Cleaver Theron. There were also the Palace Guards, who were made up of the most decorated and accomplished drones in the Locust Horde's army, and were charged with the defense of the Royal Palace and Nexus and the Queen. As you can see straight away, the Palace Guard's armor is a lot different to the traditional Therons. This is because they were the most decorated drones and they had the biggest responsibility a Locust soldier could have, to protect the Queen and her royal palace. So they wore royal armor and a distinctive Royal Theron helmet. Now during Operation Hollow Storm, when Delta 1 were able to breach the defenses of Nexus, the Palace Guards used their intelligence and years of military expertise, setting up ambushes in front of the palace gate and setting up other traps within the palace. But unfortunately, all the Palace Guards encountered were killed, but the Palace Guards all gave their lives in the name of their queen. I also want to quickly go over the military ranks of the Therons, from the bottom to the top. Now the Therons were ultimately Locust Drones. They're not their own species, just to clarify because some people get a bit confused when it comes to that. So when it comes to the Locust Drones, you have your standard Locust Drones, who are the foot soldiers of the Locust Horde. They are standard infantry and have different classes specializing in different forms of combat. Then we have the Locust Grenadiers, who are the Locust Shock Troopers, and are stronger and more aggressive than the drones. Then you guessed it, we have the Theron Guards, who are the elite Locust troops and are head and shoulders above the drones. So these are the drone subclasses and hierarchy, but to look at the ranks within the Theron organization, we firstly have the Theron Guards. Then a level above the standard Therons are the Theron Sentinels, who lead small teams of Therons. Then we have the Theron Elites, General RAAM's loyal lieutenants. And then we finally have the Palace Guards, who are the most decorated and accomplished drones in the army. Now we don't really know where the Cleaver Therons would fit in here, but I'd assume they'd be of the lowest ranks of Therons. As to me, I find it strange as to why they'd be armed with a butcher cleaver, and not exclusive weapons like the Torquebow that the Therons do tend to possess. Now during the Locust War, when the Hollow and Nexus, the Locust's home, was flooded by the coalition of ordered governments in Operation Hollow Storm, the Locust Horde began falling apart. After the flooding of the Hollow, the surviving Palace Guards became the bulk of the Queen's Guard, which was a loyalist army under the direct command of Queen Myrrah, while many of their Theron brothers became part of the Savage Locust. They became known as the Savage Therons. They were previously just your regular Theron Guards and are nearly identical to the original Theron Guards except for the colour of their armour, which is nearly bleached white and garnished with red lights. They also use different weapons most of the time. For example, most Savage Therons use a butcher cleaver or sword-off shotgun rather than their iconic Torquebow. Some of the Savage Therons ended up living in the Seran Deadlands and were forced to adapt to the sandstorms with new tactics and armour. Like Savage Drones, they burst from the ground to ambush their enemy. They attack with a cleaver, wielding it like a sword. This is a tactic previously used by the Cleaver Therons, from whom the Savage Therons modelled their technique, but unlike their predecessors, they carry more weapons in case they lose their cleavers. Also, within the Savage Locust, they didn't have an organised hierarchical structure, so troops like the Savage Theron were on the same level and rank as the other standard infantry. This was of course not the case within the Locust Horde army prior to the flooding of the Hollows, as the Theron Guards were field commanders and were the elite troops. Now the Theron Guards' voices are sibilant and with a definitive whispering hiss, giving them a distinctly menacing appearance. Though it is more intimidating, the hissing and whispering can be a big giveaway to the opponent of your position. Now the Theron's voices are definitely a lot more deeper and menacing than the standard drones. We have never been told why this is as of creating this video, but I believe this could be due to the Therons generally being more experienced, battle-hardened drones, therefore being older drones. It's never been confirmed, but a theory that I have could be that the older the drones become, their voices become a lot deeper and raspier. This makes more sense with the fact that the Palace Guards have an even deeper and raspier voice than the Therons. And the Palace Guards are the most decorated drones in the Locust army. therefore most likely being even older drones, as they would have served for a long time. But yeah, let me know what you think of this little theory in the comment section down below. So there you have it guys, there's the Elite Locust troops, Theron Guards in the Gears of War universe explained. So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you want to watch more of my juicy lore videos, I'll leave some links at the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.